Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms, and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets taking a mean L. A mean L to the Dallas Cowboys, man. Cowboys beat the Jets today. Yeah, they beat the Jets. That's a fact, all right? New York Jets lose to the Dallas Cowboys 30-10 in Dallas. Man, let me tell you something. This is a frustrating game to watch, all right? Jets are now 1-1, but the season's not over, all right? I want to put this out there before I even start. Season's not over. It's just a frustrating day, all right? And the most frustrating thing that, was going on just watching the game, and I watched it with the Savages. Salute to everybody that watched it with me and joined in and was commenting and all that. Salutes and respect to all of y'all. Was the Jets defense. The Jets defense could not stop the Dallas Cowboys offense at all. Couldn't get them off the field on third down, and for the love of all that is good, we could not get any consistent pressure on Dak Prescott. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get to him with our front four. Just couldn't do nothing about getting to Dak Prescott whatsoever. The Dallas Cowboys were 9 of 18, 50% on third down. And Dak Prescott was sacked one time the entire day. Dak was 31 of 38 on the game, 255 yards, 2 TDs, and again, he was sacked once by Solomon Thomas. I mean, we just couldn't do nothing with him. I think at one point in the game, he was like 13 of 13. Their first drive, they walked straight down the field, scored a touchdown. Straight out the gate. Straight out the gate, we couldn't do nothing with him. We could not get to Dak, no matter what we did. No matter what we did. All right? Quentin Williams, nothing. Huff, nothing. Jermaine Johnson, nothing. Nothing. Keep in mind, Will McDonald, who's the guy we just drafted that we were all excited about being a pass rusher, he wasn't playing. Why he was inactive, nobody knows. Healthy scratch. Dallas also ran the ball very effectively against the New York Jets. They had 134 yards on the ground. 134 yards. Couldn't do nothing about that. Oh, CeeDee Lamb, the guy that we talked about all week leading up into this game against the Cowboys, a guy that the New York Jets defense needed to identify and take away. He had 11 catches for 143 yards against the New York Jets. My goodness gracious. Yo, it seemed like times in this game, I'm trying not to get mad because I'm going to throw something. CeeDee Lamb was literally running within our defense wide open. I'm not lying to y'all. For those of you that may have missed the game, CeeDee Lamb, there were times where he was running wide open in the defense, like nobody was around. There were so many catches where he would catch the ball and there wouldn't be anybody within like 5 yards. And he was a guy that we should have absolutely taken out of the game plan for them. We should have doubled him. Beat us with Turpin, beat us with Gallup, beat us with anybody else. But you're not going to beat us with CeeDee Lamb, and it was never done. We did not make the proper adjustments. We did not make the proper adjustments against the Cowboys offense. And I'm sorry. I'm going to speak the truth here. All right? I'm going to speak the truth. Mike McCarthy and that offensive staff over there with the Cowboys completely outcoached the New York Jets defensive staff. I'm going to say it. Because that's what happened. There wasn't any adjustments. There wasn't enough adjustments at all. All right? Also, the Dallas Cowboys game plan was pretty simple, and it was the same all game. First off, they ran a lot of no huddle and quick stuff early, which really gassed out the New York Jets defense. Keep in mind, the Cowboys dominated the time of possession. They had the ball for over 42 minutes throughout the game. It was insane. They ran a lot of quick stuff early, no huddle stuff, kept the Jets on their toes, and they ran a lot of stuff where it was about getting the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands, lickety-split, very quick. A lot of short passes to the flats to his running backs, a lot of easy check down stuff. And what was crazy was the wheel routes that these running backs were running coming out of the flats. He'd get them the ball, and they would take off. right behind the line of scrimmage. And the next thing you know, it's a 15, 12-yard run every single time. Short passes turning into 12-yard runs, 15-yard runs. These backs was just constantly eating up and gaining yards, first down after first down after first down. And these were just quick passes coming out of the flats. And it was like there was nothing we could do about it. We couldn't stop it. Couldn't get them out of there. Nothing. Now, there were some frustrating plays as well that we didn't make that I think would have actually really turned, the game in our favor. One of them was Sauce dropping that pick six. It was early. And Sauce dropping that pick six hurts because on that drive, the Cowboys actually scored on that drive. Dak Prescott was throwing a ball out to one of his wide receivers. He didn't even see Sauce. By the time he let it go, that's when he actually saw him when the ball was out of his hands. He was like, oh, crap, Sauce Gardner's over there. And you could see that Dak started to regret the throw. And Sauce had his hand on the ball. And I believe after the game, he said he wasn't concentrating on bringing the ball in. He was more concentrated on staying in bounds and starting to run down the field because there was literally nobody who was going to stop him if he caught that ball. Well, he didn't catch it. He actually ended up dropping the ball, and it was right there in front of the Jets sideline. And you could see Sulla was, I wish he would have made that play. And Sauce grabbed his helmet. But if he catches that pick six and goes the other way for a touchdown, it really could have swung the game in the Jets' favor at that point. But that didn't happen. And I also want to speak on the fact that these referees in Dallas, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, they was cooking up. All right, there was a lot of home cooking for Dallas. There were some roughing the passer calls that really, really hurt the New York Jets. There was a roughing the passer calls on a Dallas drive and score that kept their drive going. One of the roughing the passer calls was called on John Franklin Myers, which was mind-blowing because the Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman actually grabbed John Franklin Myers and threw him into Dak Prescott. And they called roughing the passer on John Franklin Myers. The other roughing the passer call was called on Michael Clemens, which was crazy because he hit Dak Prescott just as he was letting the ball go. And they called that roughing the passer. The refs were horrific in this game, and they were just blowing calls left and right and just giving calls to Dallas constantly. It was ridiculous to watch. But the New York Jets defense also missed a lot of tackles. Sauce was missing tackles. Our linebackers were missing tackles early. It was bad, man. It was bad. Going over to the Jets offense, all right, the Jets offense struggled to get anything going. They couldn't stay on the field. They couldn't convert third downs whatsoever. Zach was really solid in the first half. I thought he played well. Zach on the day was 12 of 27, 170 yards. He had 3 interceptions. We'll talk about those in a second. But Zach put some things together early, okay? He had a 68-yard touchdown to Garrett Wilson on a great throw. Garrett Wilson caught it, took off, broke away. He broke a tackle, broke away from all the Cowboys, and was able to get a long run and score. That was great to watch. And then right before the half, Zach led a drive down the field that looked really promising. He was moving, shaking. He made a lot of good throws. He also utilized his feet to help extend the drive, get first downs. And he almost had a throw to Garrett Wilson for a touchdown. He identified what the defense was doing, dropped back, saw that Garrett Wilson was open, went to throw the ball to him, and a Cowboys defensive lineman was able to reach and just tip the ball out of his hand as he was letting it go, and the ball fell short of Garrett Wilson. But that drive ended in a field goal, man. But then they came out after the half, and the offense just could not get anything going. Couldn't get it done. They were getting stuffed, and they could not handle it. Listen, if you would have told me, if somebody from the future had came to me and sat down and said, Joe, if they sat down pregame with me and said, Joe, listen, you know that running game that everybody talks about we need to have, the ground and pound and the identity? You guys were great against the Bills last week. This week, Zach Wilson's going to be your leading rusher. That's what's going to happen this week against Dallas, Joe. How do you think things are going to, work out in your favor against the Dallas Cowboys? You're going to beat them? And I would have told that person from the future pregame, that's horrible. We're going to lose. That's exactly what happened today. Zach Wilson was the New York Jets leading rusher. That's insane to even hear. 5 carries, 36 yards. Zach Wilson was our leading rusher in this game. Whoa. The Jets' running game was non-existent. Non-existent. The Cowboys stacked the box, and there was just nothing they could do. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't get any running game going, nothing. Let me tell you something. Breece Hall, I'm going to say this. Breece Hall, 4 carries, 9 yards on the game. I'm going to say this again. Breece Hall, our bell cow back, our workhorse, just came back from the ACL injury, right? Just had over 100 yards against the Bills. Against the Dallas Cowboys, he had 4 carries and 9 yards. That is insane. That is insane to even say. That is insane, right? 4 carries, 9 yards for Breece Hall. Dalvin Cook had 7 yards and a critical fumble. By the way, during that fumble, right before he fumbled, there was a face mask that they didn't even call. Still yet he fumbled. That was recovered by the Cowboys. Now, going back to Breece Hall, even after the game, he talked about how, hey, everybody's trying to blame, some people are trying to put the blame on Zach Wilson or put it on his lap. He said, Zach Wilson, I thought, played solid. He played solid. Maybe, he had 3 interceptions. The first one, you could say throw it out of bounds, but the other 2, he was just trying to make a play. He said, but what killed him was everybody else. We didn't do anything to help Zach Wilson. From the running backs to the receivers, nothing, And even after the game, and we'll be hearing about this all week, Breece Hall tweeted, okay, he tweeted 4 football emojis in a row. Tweeted that up, basically saying, yo, I only got 4 carries. And when asked about from the during the post-game meeting with the media, they asked him about it. He told the media, the reason why offense struggled is because I only got, minimal carries. I got like 4 carries. That's why we struggled offensively. We'll be hearing about that the entire week. I'm very sure of it, okay? But that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous that Breece Hall, our bell cow back, only got 4 carries. Mind-blowing. The Jets' offensive line, especially the left side, stunk, okay? Stunk. Dwayne Brown, stunk. Connor McGovern, stunk. Tomlinson, he struggled at times too. This is mind-blowing, man. Mind-blowing. Micah Parsons, he was doing his thing out there. And we all identified him before the game that he was a guy. Come on, Micah Parsons is one of the best, if not the best player, defensive player in the league, right? You got to take him away. You got to find some way to keep this guy in check. Boy, Micah Parsons was going off, and Dwayne Brown looked like a fool even trying to block him. Even trying. And Dwayne Brown continues to struggle because there were other guys that was getting after him too. It's week 2 of struggle for Dwayne Brown, man. Man, oh man. Micah Parsons, 2 sacks. He also recovered a fumble. We couldn't keep him in check, man. We couldn't keep him in check. He made his plays and he made his impact. But the Jets' offensive line struggled, man. Struggled running, struggled in pass pro. We got to get that shored up. And there's just so many questions for me with the New York Jets offense. Mecole Hardman, our speedster, our guy that's going to take the top off the defense and really give you a threat. Mecole Hardman had 1 catch for 6 yards in this game. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Again, even going back to the interceptions of Zach Wilson, 3 picks. I'm going to be critical of our QB because I'm always critical of QBs. The first one, he was going out to the right sideline. He should have just thrown it away, but he was just trying to make a play, trying to make something happen, ended up throwing an interception to a Cowboys DB he didn't see. He was trying to get the ball to a Jets receiver that was down the field. But the second interception that he threw was to Garrett Wilson. And I felt like Garrett Wilson could have jumped up and got that ball. But instead of jumping up, he just kind of fell back towards the sideline. And the Cowboys safety just jumped in and caught the ball. Like basically right in front of him. What is going on? And then the other interception he threw was to, I believe it was Michael Carter. He was there. He could have went and got the ball, but the throw was a little outside. So he ended up, that was an interception too. The 3 picks were tough, but he was just trying to make a play at that point, man. Trying to get something going because the offense was just not producing. The clock was ticking down. The Cowboys really weren't, running up the score, going into the end zone. They really were just kicking field goals constantly. And we just couldn't get any kind of momentum offensively going. We got to clean this up, man. We got to clean it up. It was a frustrating day. It was a frustrating day watching the Jets offensively, but it was really frustrating and strange to watch the New York Jets defense struggle the way that they did. Huh, man. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the Jets losing to the Cowboys? What are your thoughts about the Jets defense struggling with the Cowboys offense? How do you feel about the Jets offense struggling to get something going? What are your thoughts about Breece Hall only getting 4 carries? And how do you feel about him tweeting after the game 4 football emojis? What are your thoughts about Breece telling the media, listen, the Jets offense struggled because I only got 4 carries? Oh, man, Breece was not happy, man. Comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.